Oopsie doopsie. We did a whoopsie. We did a whoopsie daisy, didn't we?
We did.
We did?
Oh, we whoopsie daisied?
Did we whoopsie daisy? I don't know. I'm just asking, did we whoopsie daisy?
I think so. You know what? Like, it was, I think the other day was the anniversary of the patent of the whoopee cushion.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. That was a big whoopsie daisy.
That is a whoopee daisy. Like a Whoopi Goldberg daisy.
Oh. Aw.
Yeah.
Do you think they named it after her?
The whoopee cushion? I think it might be the other way around. I think she might have chosen the name based on because I don't think that's a real name, is it? It can't be a real name.
Let me check. I think it is.
Really? Whoopi Goldberg. No, her name is Karen Elaine Johnson. Yeah.
Wow, she has a really boring real name.
Yeah, she does. Whoopi Goldberg is a really fun name. It makes her sound, both, one sec. Cushion.
Oh, I didn't know she was married 3 times.
Okay, she has stated her stage name Whoopi was taken from a whoopee cushion. Quote, when you're quote, when you're performing on stage, you never really have time to go into the bathroom and close the door. So if you get a little gassy, you've got to let it go. So people used to say to me, you're like a whoopee cushion, and that's where the name came from. So there's this guy at work, actually, who I work next to, because he's got the route next to me right now. And he'd be farting. He'd just be farting. He's always talking and he's farting.
Oh, so he's just always like busting ass right in front of you?
I mean, not in front of me. We have like our own partitions. They're like little cubicles of mail. And he always be farting. He's a farting guy. He's old. He's been there a while. He knows it's like there's nothing against the rules to fart. It's just weird.
No,
they don't have anything in the contract about farting.
As we were talking about how there's no rules against a dog playing baseball. I mean, a dog playing basketball.
Right. Or
there's
baseball,
also no
probably.
rules saying. Yeah, or baseball. I actually think there is like a Air Bud movie where he plays baseball.
Yeah, I believe
he's like
there is,
he's kind of like Michael. He's like Michael Jordan, or that way. But I like how in Space Jam that was a big part of the movie. That like talking about like Michael Jordan like briefly going to go play baseball.
Yeah. That was his passion.
But like, yeah, it was his real passion. But like, I mean, good for that guy. He's saying, there's nothing in the rule book that says I can't just be like busting ass nonstop.
Right.
And he's just going for it.
Hell yeah. So, did you know we have a Patreon?
I did know that.
Yeah, it's over at patreon.com/dumbidiotbs, and there's a lot of cool stuff there. For as little as $2 a month, you can help support us be editorially independent and ad-free at all times, which is a pretty cool thing for a podcast. I listen to a lot of podcasts with ads, and I find them hard to listen to. And my brother's like, I just skip through the ads. And I'm like, I don't always have time. And it's like, it's such a passive thing that sometimes I just listen to the ads and hate them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I know I hate it. Like when you get to an ad, you can't like skip.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, and I'd often do that with some podcasts I listen to. It's just like, you know, like I just like keep skipping listening to when the ad break is over. I'm just like, I don't care. I can't afford any of this shit.
Absolutely. So there's that. That's all pretty cool. Also, for $5 a month, we give you a shout out on the podcast every week and say thank you to people just like Seb, Robert Yolito, Asher Pliskin, Skeptic, Papa Poison, Awful Star Trek Drawings, Jose Martinez, Gabe Siciliano, Big Strong Boy, Vinny, Luna Dahlia, Former Twink, Nathan G, DJ Robinson, Phil McCavity, Danny, Dylan Lance, Jordan Hale, Elizabeth Hearn, Nick Savard, Shane Sawyer, David Craning Sites, Electric Baphomet. Oh, by the way, David Craning Sites has an amazing book. We did an interview with him on the podcast. You should definitely check his shit out. It's a different Trek. It's all about DS9. It's a banger of a book. I'm thinking of reading it again maybe. Because the first time I did it so like academically, and I was just like, I got to read this and like take notes so I can ask him good questions. Yeah, but
yeah, you know, it's a good book. You know, we still got, you know, like another month of summer left, so you know, it's a good book you could take to the beach. You know, or if you're just like a regular Trekkie, you're probably like a massive shut-in who doesn't go outside. So,
absolutely.
Or it could just be like something you read in the dark. But you could theoretically take it to the beach and read it and enjoy it. So
yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking like even the next person on our list is like a summer goth, and they're always outside and be taking pictures with their wife and stuff, and they'd be a very cute couple. That's Electric Baphomet. We also got Gursky.
Oh yeah,
Gursky. We got Jormor.
Yeah, I've seen them go on cruises and stuff.
Yeah. They have fun. Yeah. They wore Soy Trek on the cruise with their pictures with people. I think. If I'm not mistaken, they have a picture of with them with Will Shatner, and they're wearing a Protect Trans Kid shirt, which is fucking sick.
Yeah, it was legendary.
Yeah. Absolutely. We also got Gursky. We got Jormor, Kyle Simmons, Gillian McCrary, SFC Punk, 7 of 9, D. Riker, Ethan Adams, James Hartman, Iggy, Abigail Simpson, Shane Williams, Sam Mayo, Locke Fanile, Anthony Cabrera, B. Flig, Theodore, Teddy. Sorry, just Teddy. I gotta change that.
Oh,
ooh.
A teddy bear.
Teddy. We got Jessica Cullen, Shrimp God, and our good friends over at the Hate Speech podcast. They also have a Patreon. I forget what it is, but you should check it out. I just subscribed to them.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, also for $10 a month, you know what you get? You get access to the motherfucking Media Dungeon. And that's not just our movie podcast that we do, but also Media Dungeon is, it's my private server where you get access to over 20,000 films now. And you get access to over 1,700 shows. And it's pretty sick. And then for $20 a month, you get merch every single month. I send you a t-shirt or shorts or stickers or patches or buttons or I don't know. I send something different out every single month, mostly Star Trek related, sometimes not. Who knows? Who knows what you'll get?
It's like a little fun gift bag.
Indeed, every month, yeah, and you also get access to the Media Dungeon and all those other things. So it's actually like a great deal. Like I know several people who are like, ever since I got access to the Media Dungeon, which is only $10 a month, by the way, they're like, I've gotten rid of like 3 of my streaming media services, and that adds up. That's like $40. That's like $40 a month that you're saving right there. You know,
it is. It's incredible savings.
Yeah. It's if you're a Ferengi type, it's very thrifty. Very thrifty. So once again, that's patreon.com/dumbidiotbs. And also check out our other podcasts on the Dumb Idiot Bullshit Network, mainly The Media Dungeon, Soy Trek, of course, you're listening to, and Prison Breakdown. We also got some other podcasts. You can go check them out on our Patreon. So
check it on out.
Check it on out, folks. Guess what we're here to talk about today?
We're going to talk about some Star Trek.
I'm talking about some Star Trek Prodigy Season 2. We've been going through a couple episodes every week. And, so it'll take us maybe about 10 weeks to get through the whole thing, which is fine. Because, it's a pretty long season. It's a lot of stuff to talk about, A lot of stuff to talk about.
Exactly.
A lot of meat on that bone, baby.
Yeah, you can make, it's got some meat on that bone. You can make it a stew.
Oh yeah, you got a stew going, baby. So
got a stew going, baby.
I don't know what is up with the naming in these episodes. Like the episode guide on Netflix is different from the episode guide in Star Trek Memory Alpha, which is like a trusted source. I don't know if they named it differently, like in release for Paramount, and then had to change the episode titles when it sold to Netflix, or what the deal is. Mm-hmm. But so we're gonna start today. That being said, we're gonna start today with Season 2, Episode 7, The Fast and the Curious, also known as The Race. I think it's actually The Race, but it's also titled The Fast and the Curious, or was at some point.
And more like Fast and the Bi-Curious.
Oh, that's a Doll, all right. Doll is so bi-curious.
Like yeah, we know who you are, Doll.
Oh, we know. Don't
hide it.
He's that purple guy with the big hair. He's a little gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. I love that.
You can't hide it from us.
No, we love a bi-twink. Everyone loves a bi-twink. This is Season 2, Episode 7. It first aired on July 1st, 2024 with all the other episodes. It's the 26th episode of 39 in Prodigy and the 925th episode released overall in Star Trek. It was written by Eric McNamara, who is the writer of 5 episodes of Prodigy, including Supernova Part 1, Who Saves the Saviors, and a couple more episodes from Season 2. It's directed by Sean Bishop, who is the director of 5 episodes in Season 2, and this is his first. Before this, he was largely a storyboard artist. And it is directed by Sung Shin, the most tenured Prodigy director with 16 episodes under his belt. Mm-hmm. So we open on Doll giving a captain's log. After reobtaining a small ship, the Infinity, they're going to a mysterious planet where Chakotay awaits them, or so they think. Rock is busy adjusting to the ship while Murph is having sex with Rock's holopad. Or he's doing some weird humping motion to it. It's very strange. I don't know. It seems like he's trying to, interface with it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, he trying to get up all in that business.
Oh, he is. So Jenkum takes a shit so big that it destroys Starfleet waste reclamation technology. Actually, that actually happened in the episode. He's like, "Hey, the toilet's broken or whatever," and everyone's like, "What the fuck, dude?" Like he comes out of there like he just took the biggest shit of all time, and he did.
We weren't making that up for a comedic effect or anything. He actually took the nastiest shit possible on that ship.
He gotta have a big old butthole, right? Like, you gotta have a big old butthole. If you're dropping logs like that, because I assume they don't really do toilet paper and stuff. I assume it's more of a bidet thing, like a sonic bidet, perhaps. Well,
yeah, like that's the impression I got. Like, it's a sonic toilet, so like it must also, the same rules apply to the sonic shower,
right? Does it just suck it out of your butthole?
Cool.
Like, what's the deal with that? Or is it like some enema situation?
It like breaks it loose from your butt, like kind of just like a bidet, but with water.
Break.
I'm about to break.
Yeah. So Dahl claims himself captain, but everybody else on the ship disagrees and tells him he's not a captain anymore. Which is kind of fair, but at the same time, like, if anyone should be captain here, it should probably be him, because he's the one with the most experience.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, if you had to, because I kind of feel like they have to have some sort of structure, but so I guess it has to fall to him. But I could easily see like Gwyn also filling that role.
True. So Gwyn asks how long it will take them to get Chakotay, and it'll take a few months. But there's a much shorter route through an abandoned transwarp conduit to him. They all rationalize all the decisions that they've made, like stealing the ship, and Dahl orders Zero to the transwarp conduit. Once again, he's reminded that he's not captain.
It's like, wow, just gotta cut his sails off,
Yeah, come on. So they activate the transwarp conduit via tachyon pulse and travel through. Rock says she loves science so much in a very soy moment.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, that kind of like brought back like Star Trek Discovery season 1 type feels.
Fuck yeah, science.
I was just like, science. This is science, people.
Yeah,
it's like, oh my god.
Suddenly,
but I think, but with kids, it's you can give it pass to like some dorky kid.
Yeah. Is this for kids though? Is this for kids? I don't know if this is for kids. Is this for kids though? I mean, they say it is.
I think so. They say it is, but I mean, Rock Talk is canonically like 14 or something. So imagine all the embarrassing stuff that we said at 14.
True, I said a lot of very embarrassing things at 14.
Oh no!
We won't talk about it. So suddenly something.
We won't see. Yeah. Moving on.
We're gonna pass over that period of my life. That was literally a lifetime ago. Like, I'm more than double that age now. That's something we don't talk on. So suddenly something hits the Infinity, and everyone is locked out of their controls. Zero says it's the Borg. The ship drops out of transwarp and into a very purple planet. The ship is guided to a landing platform, and Jankum wants off. The atmosphere is mostly nitrogen with some oxygen and sulfur, so it smells like shit. And Jankum's like, yeah, it's not so bad. It's not as bad as mine. Like, have you got in there? Come on.
He's like, everybody loves their own brand.
Zero looks at the technology that hooked onto the ship, and it's Kazon. They think that...
Which is funny, because it's like, when I saw that, I was just like, what technology do the Kazon even have? Like, they could barely like get clean water.
True. Just a sec.
Yeah.
And we're back. So Zero looks at the technology that hooked onto the Kazon ship, or to the ship, and it's Kazon technology. And Zero's like, the Borg would be better. Suddenly, some Kazon security comes up on them, phasers armed, and they take them prisoner. Except for Murph and Zero, who are on top of the ship. So telepathically, Dahl tells Zero that he has it handled, but asks them to get away to get their ship into the air.
It's kind of funny, like, Zero doesn't use, like, their telepathy more often.
True.
Like, I always forget, like, oh yeah, they're telepathic.
Yeah. So, back on Voyager with Admiral Janeway, she orders full sweeps of space for wherever Chakotay might be. Gnome notices Jenkum is using a napkin and finds it sus as fuck. And he's suddenly, like, polite and has manners. Holo Jenkum and is, like, ultra polite, and Dahl has become worldly and loves Ferengi bog crab. Rock Talk says they can't stand coffee, which they call dirt water. Majel thinks that,
and we saw from the what was it, the first episode, that Rock Talk actually loves coffee.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Majel thinks they're all acting awfully different. So, very sus. Everyone's very sus now. So, sus. With the Kazon, the children are brought to a man called Ekthi, who calls them his new recruits. He calls himself the ruler of the transwarp conduit. He demands their ship as a tribute to him. Which, you know, whenever someone's demanding a tribute, it's pretty sus.
Yeah, like, probably bounce at this point. Like, come on. I feel they've had enough adventures. They should know better.
Absolutely. So, Gwyn tells him that they have nothing to give, so Ekthi offers for them to race his best pilot. But the ship requires 2 pilots, so everybody signs up.
Ooh.
Yeah,
but they're fighting each other.
They are. So the crew goes and checks out the ship and prepares for the race. The race war, that is.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Purple dudes versus everyone else.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dahl.
World against purple guy.
Yep. So the race begins, and Gwyn and Dahl are doing well. Ekthi begins to sabotage the race to test them, and the competition gains on Dahl and Gwyn. Ekthi enjoys the race and blows up a giant column to help them win. Gwyn's temporal stabilizer starts to malfunction. Dahl gains the advantage, but the competitor ship starts to break apart resultantly. Dahl goes to save them, and Gwyn goes after them. The pilot is a robot. Ekthi's people...
Oh, no.
Not a robot. Ekthi's people take Zero and Murph into custody, and Dahl says he won't take his crew. Murph and Zero beat the shit out of him and take a device off his head, which renders him very confused. A wall of ice behind him breaks and reveals a passageway. We love a secret passageway, don't we, folks?
We do. Yeah. Any kind of passageway, like, I mean, and plus leading to what looks like an Agamus type character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or at least a whole bunch of servers where he just, like, this Kazon just keeps all of his, like, pornography.
CCP. That's where all of his CP is at. Yeah. That reminds me, I made a song for Prison Breakdown that I'm gonna play real quick if I can find it real quick.
Oh, let's hear it.
Yeah.
Boredom made me, collect the child porn. Collect the child porn. The child porn. Boredom made me, collect the child porn.
Yep.
Nice.
Boredom made me collect the child
terrified
porn.
of learning what the origin, what that's going to be used for.
Maybe. We'll see. It was a little joke I made for the podcast, and I think it's pretty fun. So, with Gwyn and Dahl, he says the race never finished, so maybe they can call it a tie. Gwen's armband is malfunctioning, and she's beginning to cycle through time. With Zero and Murph, they go into the ice cave with Ecthy, and he says his final memories were in this place. A giant computer begins to speak to them. So yeah, computer. We gotta have the giant computer, don't we, folks?
Gotta have it.
Yeah. So a giant computer begins to speak to them and says their objective is to reach their full potential by becoming the best computer possible. The bestest little computer. The bestest. You're such a good little computer. So they capture Zero and Murph and says that they'll force them to improve like they have. You know what that means. Like that's like ball tanning, right? Something like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So with Dahl and the crew, they find Zero and resist the computer. Zero says they may be limited, but their faith in the crew is not, and they break free from the restraints and blow up the computer, which frees the crew.
Aww.
Oh, that's very kind of you to blow up that computer. Zero
Just to 9/11 yourself into the computer to save your friends. Like it's a noble 9/11, but you could also argue the original 9/11 was a noble 9/11.
One could argue that. I'm not sure I would. Because nothing George Bush did is noble.
No.
So Zero is damaged but still alive, and they thank them. Dahl gives another captain's nay, a personal log, because he's not captain. Rock is able to fix Gwen's armband, and she's confident in whatever comes next. Over on Voyager, Magell follows Hologwyn as suddenly the ship and everything in it freezes, and some mysterious tentacles from beyond reach out to Gwen. Hologwyn, that is. Magell enters the quarters. Magell enters the quarters, which is weird to just enter someone's quarters like that. And she's gone. End of episode. Gwen is gone.
Whoa. Yeah, like those weird Japanese tentacle things were coming for her. And we were about to have a whole other... As I watched this on your server, I was expecting that this was some sort of like bizarre edit that you put on there yourself.
Yes, the tentacle... Yeah, Star Trek Prodigy tentacle porn edition.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that episode. What'd you think?
Yeah, I liked it. Like, it was weird seeing the Kazon. What quadrant are they in? What part of space are they in?
We don't really know, because they were going through a transwarp drive in, I think, Delta. Weren't they in the Delta quadrant before this? I don't recall.
Yeah, so I guess maybe that makes sense why the Kazon are there, but still, like, what Kazon?
Yeah, it's always fun to see Kazon. I mean, we like to call back to them, and I mean, it's just a guy from a race who got way lost in space or something. So it makes kind of sense, if the, I mean, the Kazon are a lot more limited and like warlike. I don't know. Kazon are interesting, but it's fun to bring them back, I think. And if you have the... They can, they're just going to be animating anyway, so they can always do it, and they can bring back any kind of race, which I think is fun.
Yeah. We're trying to make the make Chakotay, redeem Chakotay, redeem his whole like rubber tree people background. Why not put the Kazon in there and do something useful with them? So, I tip my hat to the Prodigy showrunners.
No, they got something going on. I'd give this episode a solid 7.5. Like, I really liked it. I thought it was a good standalone episode. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It kind of has a whole arc to it. They get to go to a planet, a strange planet with like a new guy, and the guy's interesting, and he's, you know, controlled by a computer. Classic Star Trek story. You know, you can't beat the classics.
Classic Star Trek.
Derivative, perhaps. Classic, also.
Undeniably.
Absolutely. So, next we have Season 2, Episode 8, Veritas, also called Is There in Beauty No Truth? This one first aired on July 1st, 2024, along with all the other episodes. It's the 27th in 39 episodes of Prodigy and the 926th of 938 released overall. It's written by Keith Sweet II, who's a staff writer for the second season of Prodigy, whose only real previous work has been as a production assistant on the Cloverfield Paradox. It's directed by Roland Lee and Andrew L. Schmidt. Roland Lee has done.
I thought you were about to say.
Sorry,
I thought you were about to say Andrew WK. I
thought
you were about to say Andrew WK.
That's where he's been. That's where he's been this whole time. Not just hold up with Kat Dennings. Is that her name?
Kat Dennings, really? Oh,
is that
from, I think I did hear about that.
From like Two Broke Chicks or whatever that show is.
Yeah.
Two poor broads.
Like Andrew WK is one of those people I'm convinced is a vampire.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to age. I think he's just got good skin. I don't know. So he also works out a lot, which is obvious.
Yeah.
But
I don't see any signs of age in his face. His no gray hairs. He's still partying. His white jeans and white shirt are just always seem like he's active. You know, good for him.
Yeah, hell yeah. So we got let's see. Did I mention what they did? Roland Lee did 6 episodes in the season, and this is our first. Andrew L. Schmidt did 7 episodes of Prodigy, including my favorite, All the World's a Stage, as well as Supernova Part 1. So, lots of good stuff. Let's get into it. So we start out on a personal log from Zero, who talks about their accident, which is the 9/11 themselves into a computer, and how the crew is still looking for Chakotay. Their suit is broken beyond repair, and they fear they're a burden. Zero finds another Medusa calling out. They're from a colony that has all types of beings, and they're like, maybe I should check this out. This sounds pretty cool.
These people are reaching out to me on their and it's funny that I mentioned like, oh yeah, Zero doesn't seem to use their telepathy that much, and then now they're just like reaching across space.
right it's like the writers
having chat
kind of remembered the telepathy thing in the middle of the season, and they're like, oh, let's just do that a lot. That's great for plot. They assure Zero that they can replace their suit. Dahl says they need to find the protostar. Zero tells them to go on without them while they seek out a new suit on this planet. So the planet that they go to is vast and verdant, and they are greeted by a peaceful group of colonists. The planet is called Ovidia 4. It's a pretty sick name.
I like that name.
Sounds like a graphics card.
It's always funny, like when they also have like numbers and the planet that they live on. It's just like it's like we don't call ourselves Soul 3 or anything.
That's true. That's very true. That is kind of weird to do that, right? But you know.
Yeah, you think like, you know, they have like a civilization there. Like, why not give it like just like a non-numbered name?
Maybe like
name it literally whatever you want.
Maybe like all of the names are literally taken, and this isn't like the fourth rock from the Ovidia star. Instead, it's like there's like 3 other Ovidias out there, like elsewhere in the planet, and they're like Ovidia A or Ovidia 4. Like, I mean,
so it's like a franchise. It's like they have. Like they're just like, oh, this is the 4th Ovidia,
right?
The other ones you want,
and that's like the thing is like, because you can't have like 2 cities of the same name in the same state, right?
Yeah,
but
that's true.
Space is bigger. Space is way bigger than that. There's so many more planets that we'll have contact with than there ever will be cities on our planet Earth, because there's only so much space here, but space is nearly infinite, you know. Like
they could call it, it'd be funny if they called it North Ovidia. Then there's a South Ovidia.
That doesn't make sense in space. Yeah, what are, like, besides like headings, like what are directions in space? We got obviously north, south, east, west, but then like up, down. Like, I don't know how that works, man. It's complicated.
Yeah,
the z-axis, man, complicated.
Yeah, someone brought up a good point, how like every time ships meet in Star Trek, they're always meeting like head on,
right?
But
face
really
to
they would
face.
just be coming from like insane directions. Like one ship would be upside down, you know?
Right? Because there is no upside down in space, baby.
No,
everything's like being on a sex swing in space, baby.
Oh yeah. Sex swing.
So Dahl wonders if this is a planet full of non-corporeal life forms. They say there are real life forms with corporeal bodies, and Zero is fascinated. They say this evening they will celebrate the Feast of Senses, which sounds like the name of an orgy to me. The leader of the group say they were invited to the planet by another non-corporeal being. They say seeing and feeling is beyond the reward of having a corporeal suit. Zero says they have always had a yearning and emptiness within, and have always wondered what it would be like to have a body. They say they will do the procedure for them. Pretty cool. This is maybe a little transcoded, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is Zero non-binary? I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, Medusans are inherently genderless.
Cool. Would love to see it.
They don't have any sort of concept of a binary gender at all. All, like their species. So
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, and like we never got to see what they were working with downstairs, but I bet it matters.
I mean, they probably just have a bunch of attachments for the suit, just like things to like clip on, and
What that plant pod give you down there?
So Zero asks if they will feel anything, and the leader says they will feel everything, which is kind of sexual, I think. But after the group says the leader didn't tell them everything there is to know, which is sus. So up on Voyager,
that got me thinking, like, okay, is it going to be like, initially, like I was thinking it was going to be a story, where there were like peaceful inhabitants of this planet that are just like taking over their bodies, but that's what I was initially thinking.
Could be, but not. So up on Voyager, Magell and the Nova Squadron play a game of Parisi squares against the crew, of kids that are the holo crew, I guess. Jane is observing and says that the holo crew's behavior is unusual because she don't know they holograms. The doctor posits that they might be holograms, and they turn off the hologram generators, and the crew suddenly disappears. Janeway realizes that they have escaped in the Infinity, which they assumed was destroyed in the blue sun couple episodes back. So
yeah, I like how they never there's tons of ways you can detect that it's been consumed by the sun,
Right.
Just,
they just
scan for it.
They're like, no, just launch it in there. We don't need to scan for anything.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, it needs to make the story happen, but it's just the Infinity was such an experimental, potentially illegal spacecraft for the Federation to be using. You think you would want some sort of, you would want the receipts that it was destroyed in the first place.
Yeah.
You just, so it doesn't there's no possibility of it coming back and fucking you over, having a diplomatic crisis because you didn't confirm it was swallowed by the sun.
True. So back with the crew, Zero wakes up in a corporeal body and feels for the first time. They laugh, they stumble, and they touch themselves. Zero is now a twink. Kind of Na'vi style. These people are Na'vi coded a little bit, like purple Na'vi.
Yeah, and also I was thinking their society kind of looks almost like Avatar-ish almost.
Yeah, for sure.
They kind of but yeah, it is kind of like Avatar.
a little bit.
The second animated Avatar reference, after the Peanut Hamper episode from
true. With the Eagles.
Lower Decks.
Yeah, we'd love to see it.
Yeah, the Owl Man, yeah.
Big fan of that one, actually.
Yeah, I love that episode.
So the crew hug Zero for the first time, and they call it glorious. Glory holious. The leader of the group says that they will enjoy even more sensations at the Feast of Senses, which has got to be an orgy, right? Has to be.
You would think, but again, this is supposedly made for kids. But I could see if this premise was a TNG, episode, it would have definitely been oh, we fucking now, or at least heavily implied that they be fucking.
So, at the feast, it's a full-on party with a drum circle and everything. So it's pretty.
Woof.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's this is this is a feast of the senses, so we're going to do the most annoying thing we can think of. All they needed was a guy on a ukulele.
Oh god, right? And then a guy playing harmonica or something no one wants, or a bagpipe or some shit. Some guy with the instrument everyone avoids. Oh yeah, yeah, to the drum circle. So Zero tries food for the first time and is like, whoa, what the fuck? Jenkum says, take it from an expert. Time to start shoving things in your mouth, which is the same advice I would give to somebody with a brand new body.
That'd be funny if he just said, don't just stare at it, eat it.
Yeah, it ain't gonna eat itself. Zero goes to dance with their new friends. Is Jenkum Pog trans mask coded?
You know what? I would say so.
I think a little bit. I think he's a beefy boy. BOI.
I actually got to use the phrase percussive maintenance at work today.
Oh, excellent. I love to hear that. Yeah, that's what.
And it worked.
Yeah, it does. Especially if something's a little bit broken, needs to be knocked back into place, because a lot of people don't realize that's how machinery works. Is everything needs to be in its right place. Sometimes it gets a little out of place. You gotta beat it back into place, whether you do that with a hand on the outside or you have to go in with more specialized tools. Percussive maintenance works.
Yeah, it works.
So, Zero goes to dance with her new friends. Zero's dancing now, trying all the new things. So Jenkum tells Rock Talk to go dance, but they're afraid they will step on people's feet and hurt them, which be a valid fear if you're a giant rock thing. because I've stepped on people's feet when I dance, and I'm big but not made of rock. So, with Doll and Gwyn, he thanks her for believing in Zero as they drink an alien drink. And it's Doll asks what it is and says they simply need some more, and it's like stomach juices from something.
From a hog.
From a hog. And got a little bit of that hog juice in him.
Kind of reminded me of Porkin' Across America, the Genius Onion YouTube series, where a guy named Jim, who's like the morning show host, he goes on a tour trying all the pork in America. And over the course of the trip, he ends up becoming more and more pig-like, and a lot of it starts because he tries this delicacy, which is just like chilled or warm pig's blood. They drink warm pig's blood in this one culture, and he ends up drinking too much of it, and so then like he can't get like human blood transfusions, and he's in an accident, so he starts getting like pieces of pig put. Doctors have to use pieces of pig on him, and by the end, he just becomes completely pig.
Completely pig. Wonderful. So, Doll says they have to do things right, and him and Gwen have a moment. They're preparing for the running of the Nazamon, which is a test for the forgotten sense, the sense of fear. That's the sixth sense. So if they survive the running of the Nazamon, all of the non-corporeals feel more alive in their bodies.
That'd be funny if instead of like a race, it was just like, all right, they just put a big ass, fan on a table and be like, gotta take that to the base. That's how you beat your fear.
Yeah, that'd be sick as fuck, dog. So the running of the Nazamon begins, and is told their flower crown attracts the Nazamon. So they're wearing basically something that is attracting them to be eaten, which maybe not the best idea, but this is kind of like basically a running of the bulls for non-corporeals. The Nazamon, which is like a giant winged creature, flies behind them. They tell Zero about the Nazamon when suddenly Doll is scooped up into its mouth. Doll and Zero, now in the Nazamon's mouth, hang on for dear fucking life. And the thing's got kind of like a whale shark mouth. It's like not eating them directly. It's not like gnashing teeth or anything, so they can just hang on.
It's a sky whale shark.
Yeah, which is pretty sick and pretty like non-threatening. That seems like it'd be nice to like pet or ride on. So Zero says they need to let the creature follow its senses. The Nazamon lets them down, and they finished the feast of senses. Zero doesn't want to leave and lose their senses, which is fair. Like, if you just gained senses, I mean, that'd be like, like Odo going to the Great Link. Like, once you, like, really see something like that, like, how can you go back?
Yeah, it's just like when the Doctor took over Seven's body and was able to try cheesecake.
Absolutely. But their friends risk their own senses to help them, and so they know where they belong, with the crew, with their friends. So Zero is like, I'm going with my family. The leader calls this a noble choice, the leader of these people, and lets them go, and the Infinity takes off with Zero. Back on Voyager, they continue the search for the crew and notice 8 minutes missing in the ship's logs. They unfreeze the Gwyn hologram and ask her where the crew is, and she says they received a secret message from Chakotay. She says she has visions where something is there to take her. They end the Gwen hologram, and Janeway says that they'll need to figure out what's after them, or they may lose more than just 8 minutes. End of episode.
Whoa.
End of episode. What do you think?
I like this episode a lot. Like, yeah, like didn't go where I was expecting it to, and yeah, and I guess we'll get a few episodes. You know, I'm guessing this is going to cause some conflict with, you know, Zero and Majel, because they're having sort of a little like back and forth romantically, and now that Zero has a corporeal form and can like sort of like act on those impulses, with another corporeal being, you know, so it's going to be complicated now that, you know, their body is going to be deteriorating the further they get from this planet. So it'll, you know, see what happens with that. You know, I'm guessing it's going to be sad.
Yeah, probably. We're prepared for sad though. I mean, this is a emotionally depthful show, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you know, and you know, it is for kids. Like, it is nice that it doesn't really like talk down to them and be kind of condescending to like the audience for kids.
No, it treats kids like little adults, if that's who they're writing it for, which is good. You know,
yeah, can help them tackle, you know, learn how to tackle like issues like this, you know.
Right,
I'm sure they want nothing exactly like this, you know. No kid is going to be non-corporeal, be like a floating
yeah, maybe not your
myth.
kids. I'm gonna have kids that are just like that though. I'm gonna somehow take my vasectomy sperm and make some kids that are non-corporeal. That I guess all my kids are non-corporeal when you think about it.
Yeah, I'll like, you know, what the religious right will have you believe is, you know, those are all like souls that you're carrying inside your balls, and each time those souls don't find an egg, they die, and then you're haunted by all of the unfertilized sperm in your life. So you're probably surrounded by millions upon probably billions of sperm ghosts. So you have non-corporeal children. You just can't see them.
Yeah, that's good to know. That'll help me go to sleep tonight.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So you got anything else to say on this episode?
No, I liked it.
Yeah, me too. This one especially was a great standalone episode. I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
It had a whole ass arc again. It let us know more about Zero, get more into that character, and it was a tight, you know, like 22 minutes or whatever, which we love to see. You know, a tight show that doesn't overstay its welcome.
Yeah, tight little show. Tight little boner.
Tight little show, tight little boner. That's what they call me down at the shipyard. Yeah, they call me a tight 5 minutes, just like a comedy set.
5 minutes.
Just like a comedy set.
I get called 5:35 seconds.
Well, you know, some of us are able to think about other things, Pat.
Oh yeah.
Delayed or
I try to think about baseball, but like I literally know nothing about baseball. So.
And you're just like, damn, that dude's butt is hot. Fuck! Oh, I'm coming.
Damn it!
I'm coming already. No. Shit.
Just like desperately trying to put it back in, grabbing it. Go back in.
Let me think about baseball. I might get hard again.
Filling it up like, you know, one of those old timey muskets, you know, putting the gunpowder in.
doing that with a Q-tip. Just splinting it with a Q-tip and a piece of skin tape.
Taking a Q-tip and pushing it, like packing it in, like, all right, I'm ready to go again.
Yeah. Yeah, I should start doing that. I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet folks would love that.
Like, oh, I haven't heard from Britt. Oh, they got shot.
Again.
Yeah.
That's all I got for this episode. Both these episodes. This show continues to get better, I'd say.
Yeah.
Well, season started
I've just been
out
watching 2 episodes each week. I haven't been going forward, so it's a surprise to me each week about what happens.
Me too. It's always a nice surprise, I think. So to follow along and watch it almost like it's on television.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a great place for us to leave it. If you enjoyed our show, please go check out our Patreon at patreon.com/dumbidiotbs. And if you like our show, go check out our other shows, The Media Dungeon and my other show, Prison Breakdown. We also got
a
couple other shows. We got Dumb Idiot BS, we got My Wife, and we got Getting Head of Bucket Cast, all on our network. So go check those out. Go like, rate, and subscribe to our podcast wherever you get podcasts. That'd be cool. Thanks for hanging with us, Voyagers. My name has been Britton.
I've been Pat.
Be well, travel safe, and go watch some Star Trek Prodigy. It's pretty rad.
Go watch it.
Oh,
all right. Well, thanks for trekking with us, soy boys, girls, and our woodly beans.
Hang dong and shocker.
Dong and shocker.
Soy, 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 soy.